All right, so what we have is a completely portable endoscopy system. This endoscopy system, using these three components, this is a 300 gig DVR, will record about 300 hours of procedure time. This is a wireless transmitter, and this is the wireless receiver, which allows you to transmit to a laptop with a video capture device or to a television or another monitor. These devices replace the processor and light source of a traditional endoscopy system. We have effectively replaced that with what you see here. The setup is very simple. We'll start with the DVR. It just simply mounts on the head of the scope. We have one cable. This supplies the power and the video signal back to the camera. It plugs in right there where it says cam in. This is our control cable. It's an HDMI connection. And what that does is it plugs right into the top where it says control. And then when we turn our unit on, that control cable actually works in conjunction with these buttons. The button number 2 is to start and stop video recording, and the button number 3 will actually take still images. Now, as you can see from the main menu here, if we go to turn the scope on, we can either go through the menu by hitting record, or we can simply press the button on the scope, and what that does is it turns the camera on. We get our video signal. You'll see that it's already recording up here. You'll see the red dot showing it recording, and you'll see the count. Now, while we're recording, we can press the other button right here. And now on the screen, when I press that button, it will say Snapshot. Now what the snapshot's doing, it's taking a still image picture while we're still recording video. So you can do both at one time with this. You can take those and offload those via a USB cable onto your laptop or computer, or you can have a micro SD card if you're out in the field or at a client site. You can export those pictures or video to the micro SD card and then give them to your client. So now we've come in out of the field where we're working, and we're going to be using this in a clinical environment. We already have our wireless transmitter connected to a monitor, and this is how quick it is to transition with this scope between the DVR and the wireless. We simply disconnect our control cable, we reconnect or disconnect our video cable, we take our wireless transmitter, it mounts right on the top. We take our video cable and plug it in on the top as well. Our power is down on the bottom. We flip our power on. So now, there we go. Now you can pick back up, you can piece the two together. So we've connected our video cable. This supplies the power and our video signal. We turned it on. So now our camera is on. You can tell that it's on by the lights. And as you can see over here, we have a wireless receiver plugged into the monitor. And then we now have our image on the monitor. So we can be completely wireless. Again, now we're getting approximately 3 meters from our monitor, and there's no wires, and we still have a good video signal. So what this allows the doctor to do is to work around the surgery table, depending on how the animal is placed, allowing him a little bit more freedom for scoping without being tied to having the light source and processor with the additional cable, and we can just be completely wireless.
Mm-hmm.
So by plugging the wireless receiver into a laptop with a video capture device, you can record on that at the same time as well, and not use your additional monitor and just use your laptop, which
Mm-hmm.
again allows you some more portability for whether it's house calls or working out in the field on emergency cases.
Mm-hmm.
This is an Eto valve, which you can attach a leak tester to. The leak tester inflates the scope and provides pressure so that you can soak and disinfect the scope. It's completely submersible,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can disinfect the scope in between patients.
Mm-hmm.
There's an attachment for the air-water valve,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can push air and water. And on the tip of the scope, we have the biopsy channel. The silver tab is actually the air-water channel. The air pushes out to insulate the stomach or the esophagus when you're going into the animal, and the water sprays across the lens to keep the camera clear of mucus or other debris when you're in the body.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to take our scope now, and we're going to put it in our Phantom. Now in our Phantom, as we call it, it's a imitation colon.
Mm-hmm.
Now as you look up at the screen right now, there's a little bit of a dark spot up there. When we change the angulation, you'll see how it's dark at first.
This yours,
You'll see how it's dark at first,
Mm-hmm.
and then the camera will adjust and brighten up on the image.
Mm-hmm.
And that's due to the auto iris on the camera itself. So as we angulate around, we can drive the scope. And the angulation is the angulation knobs here to maneuver the scope
Mm-hmm.
as you drive through the body. So that's what the control knobs do. You do have a 2mm biopsy channel so that you can use a snare or a forceps for foreign body removal or to take culture samples.
Mm-hmm.
What we have here is a foreign body retrieval snare, and it loops around an object so that you can pull it back out. This goes down through the biopsy channel. And as we feed it down through the length of the scope, normally it's a two-person job, so you'll have it. So this will come out the tip of the scope, and as you're trying to latch around a foreign body, you will extend the snare,
Mm-hmm.
be able to retrieve it, and then pull it back out.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do is we are going to look in our colon where we have placed, take a look around here. Uh-oh, I bumped it. There's my battery guy, I think. My battery. Now, you will get a little bit of interference from time to time because your cell phone, the Wi-Fi connection is on the same
Mm-hmm. Area.
range, and so with us having multiple Wi-Fi access points here, you will get a little interference from time to time. All right, so here is our foreign body,
Mm-hmm.
and we are going to try to extend our snare. A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a perfect science.
You gotta twist it.
Working on it. I get it.
You got it.
Okay, so now we pull that up to the scope. And as we're pulling it out, we have, so this is just video capture software
Mm-hmm.
that connects with this device wirelessly to here,
Mm-hmm.
just using that cable, so you can use your laptop as your monitor and your recording device. So you can record here as well, and then it just stores the images on your computer. If you need to, you can make the screen go full screen.
Mm-hmm.
When you go full screen on the computer, the image isn't as crisp and clear as it is on the medical grade monitor.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you something, Scott. Do you need any kind of software?
The software that I'm using comes with that video capture device. So the little CD that I showed you earlier, when you open up the package, you have this device. This is an extension cable, and then it has this CD that has the drivers
Mm-hmm.
and the software.
Okay.
So it's everything all in one little package.
Mhm.
And then you have your software, and then I can just, I mean, and we're at a pretty good distance away, so I can just come over here and,
Well, yeah.
so, you know, we're still at a good distance, and we're not having, you know, much problem with the image
Mm-hmm.
as we're looking at the screen. And so if you wanted something more affordable,
Mm-hmm. That's pretty nice.
yeah.